Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome back to the channel. And what a difference a week makes. In fact, what a difference 24 hours can make in the current situation that we currently find ourselves in. It is a brand new, strange experience for pretty much everyone who is living through this pandemic. However, not to be defeated, the hobby must go on. I'm still at home. I'm sure many other people are as well, except for you super key workers, the hospital staff and everyone else, the supermarket staff, delivery people, all those champions of the community at the moment doing their hard thing. But for me, the hobby goes on, but I still want to play games. I've still got that dice rolling itch. And being isolated at home and not being able to have people round or go to people's houses because of the special advice that we're all under, and social distancing and everything else, I've got one other person I can play with, and that is Mrs OABG. So today, you're going to get to watch our first battle report together of me and Mrs OABG playing a game of Kill Team. Highly exciting, I know. There's a few technical failures. We're having to improv on the board because where my gaming space normally is, where I set that up for a regular game of 40k, is now my office for my home working. So we've kind of fudged it a little bit. The lighting's not going to be the best. The camera work's not going to be the best because of reasons. And it's a little bit dark, a little bit moody, as should be a good Kill Team game. We've also trimmed back on some of the rules just to basically we wanted to get a game. Well, I say I wanted to get a game. She spent 2 days reading the book to learn how to play, and that's where we're at. So yeah, we slimmed down some of the rules. We didn't do any stratagems, command points. It is the base rules edition, and we ignored all the morale stuff. So we basically played a very slimmed down core game for a couple of hours a couple of days ago. So I've just edited the video ready to go, but it was good fun. So I'm going to share that with you. Hopefully by the time this goes up, YouTube hasn't stripped down their bitrate and you're going to be watching this in some kind of 180p quality or something like that. But enough of the preamble. I hope you are all safe and sound, consuming lots of amazing content across the internet, watching my back catalogue obviously, and watching how really cheesy some of my early videos were, and the bad quality. Yeah. But I hope you're all staying safe, keeping those hands clean, social distancing, or being champions of the community if you are in one of those key positions, teachers, nurses, whatever. I salute you and your colleagues and your efforts. But enough waffle, let's go and take a look at the game. So let's take a look at Mrs OABG's first ever Kill Team list. We've got a couple of proxies because I don't own the auto pistol and chainsword Zangors, but on the left hand side here we have a Rubric Marine with a Soul Reaper. Then we have a regular Rubric Marine, but he is carrying the icon of flame. We move on, the Aspiring Sorcerer. She has taken a Warp Flame pistol with him, very controversial. Then we have some Zangors. So we have a regular Zangor, a Brayhorn, and then we have two other regular Zangors as the doorbell goes off mid-recording. And then the one on the end with the golden horns is the Twist Bray. So he's the only one with combat weapons with the Brayhorn. The other three are repping auto pistols and chainswords. But as I said, I don't own the models, but she was insistent that that's what she wanted to use. So that is her list. I believe it comes in at 94 points. So this is my Solar Guardians Kill Team. I have a Intercessor Sergeant with a Power Sword. I have 4 Intercessors with bolt guns, and then finally an Intercessor Heavy Weapon guy with the Auxiliary Grenade Launcher. Comes in at about 94-ish points, I think that was, with the Power Sword. So that's the Kill Team ready to go. Before we roll for initiative then, we have the Scouting phase. Now these two dice here represent what we've both revealed to each other. Mrs OABG has gone with Plant Traps, and I've actually played Disarm Traps. So that is the Scouting phase complete, but you get to secretly notify D3 pieces of terrain other than impassable terrain, no bigger than 8 inches in height. I believe you've been wrecking the board earlier. And then with disarm traps, the enemy player who chose to plant traps, that player's strategy has no effect. So, scouting phase is over. No traps, and I've disarmed them all. Sorry about that. So the mission we are going to be playing is Recover Intelligence. Now, we're not going to be playing with many of the special rules. This is our first venture out together. So, yeah, no specialists, no command points, no stratagems, nothing like that going on. So we're going to go straight into the initiative phase. Mrs OABG is going to be rolling the first special OABG dice as featured on the channel. Now let's go for your initiative. What are you going to get? That's a 2. So your first roll in this is 2 ones, is a snake eyes. That's not a good start, wife. My initiative phase, I've got a 4. So that means I get to pick the deployment zone, which are the 2 little triangles down here. If we can focus that on the camera. And then you get to deploy your models first, well, your first model first. So when we come back, we will complete the deployment. Deployment is now complete. So with Mrs OABG losing the initiative, that means she's gone on. Well, I've picked this side over here, and then she's gone and deployed on this side. So very carefully, we'll try and extract where everybody is, because it's a very small deployment zone. So buried in the middle of here, I have my intercessor, and just behind him in the shadows is my intercessor sergeant. Another intercessor behind the barrel here, and as we come around the back of the map, I have one further one here, another intercessor here, and then my guy with the auxiliary grenade launcher, my heavy gunner, is just on the end here, and that's pretty much me. Coming around to the Thousand Suns, you've gone very aggressive here. I like it. The aspiring sorcerer in his commanding position on the top of the first floor, looking down to smite his foes. And then along the back here we have a number of Zangor. So we have a the Brayhorn with the big horn. The ones without the golden horns, I'll go through the army lists so you can see exactly what's going on. These actually have, because she didn't like the way that I've modelled these, she's gone with auto pistols and chainswords, but we'll cover that as we go through the game. And then in the middle here is the Soul Reaper guy. Then we have right at the very front here, we have a Rubric Marine with the icon of flame, and also another Zangor, and then at the back here we have another Zangor. So yeah, you're this one here being the Twist Bray, because he has the golden horns in my list, indicating the leader of the Zangors, and that is. And you mentioned my Soul Reaper. Yeah, Soul Reaper is just here. I have covered him. He is there, looking down at the battlefield. Good field of view over that central objective, which is worth a good couple of points. So the initiative phase is done, and I have the initiative, which means I'll be moving first. When we come back, we'll see where we have moved to, and after Mrs OABG has done her movement too, before we move into the next phase. Movement phase is now complete. The Adeptus Astartes, the Solar Guardians, I've got one guy that's moved over to, if I can get the camera to focus, it's very difficult with all this packed terrain, moved onto that objective over there on this side. Another one has sneaked through over to here, he's hiding by a ladder. If I can just catch this guy down here, there he is on that objective. My two, well, most of my other guys have just readied up. So my guy here with his bolt rifle is just readied up behind the barrel, as has my sergeant in the middle with his buddy. And my heavy guy has moved over to here with his auxiliary grenade launcher on the side of the Thousand Suns. A little bit of movement over here. So we've gone from there to, well, we've moved left, trying to hide a little bit. Heading towards the objective on the left hand side here. On the right hand side, another Zangor is heading for that objective. You've readied up your Soul Reaper cannon in the middle here. A little bit of movement around the back, just swapping some places over here. Did your icon of flame guy move? I think he stood still, right? So yeah, that guy there, he stood still. And then you've moved forward with... No,
he moved forward a bit.
He did move forward a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then your other... your other Zangor just in here through there has moved forward as well, heading towards that central objective. So we move into the psychic phase. You're the only one with a psychic phase because don't woohoo me. So you've got a couple of options here. So the start of the psychic phase, you've got an icon of flame. You're going to read to the camera what the icon of flame does.
At the start of your turn in the psychic phase, roll a d6 for each model from your kill team equipped with an icon of flame. On a 6, inflict 1 mortal wound on the closest enemy within 12 inches of the model being rolled for.
Cool. So your icon of flame is just buried down here. Do you have any enemy models within 12 inches of him that you can then inflict pain on? I believe you might have a couple over here on your right hand side.
Yeah, it's just going to be this guy here.
Oh, that's my heavy gunner. That's not a good start. So, remind me of the rule again. It just inflicts 1 mortal wound straight away.
At the start of your turn in the psychic phase, roll a d6 for each model from your kill team equipped with an icon of flame. On a 6...
Okay, so you need to roll a dice, and on a 6 he'll take a mortal wound. And no. However, we can now move on to your sorcerer here, your aspiring sorcerer. He has a psychic blast, so you need to roll a 5 on 2d6 at the nearest target that you can see, and they will take 1 mortal wound.
So your nearest target being how far?
I believe the range on this is 18. Cybolt, range of 18 and visible, suffers 1 mortal wound. If the result of the test is 11 or more, the target suffers D3 mortal wounds instead.
18, so I'm going to be able to get this guy here, aren't I? On the top. Yeah, so
you're at 16 there. You're measuring 16 inches there.
Yeah, I know, but I need within 18 inches.
Oh, then you're fine then. Yep, absolutely. So you need to come over here.
Well, hang on a second, because I need to see what my other options are.
Okay.
So he's within range, and I can see him.
But it has to be, so you need to find the closest one within 18 that you can see.
Well, actually, I think that might be this guy here, because that's 15 inches.
Can you see him though, is the next question.
Well, yeah, I can see him through the window.
Oh, well, there we go then. If he's the closest, then you can see him.
I think it's your heavy gunner, isn't it?
It is. Thanks for that.
Okay. So, I'm going to go him here then.
Okay.
What do I need to roll?
You need a 5 or more.
On just 1 dice?
2 dice. You have rolled a 5 or more, therefore he suffers a 1 mortal wound. My guys have 2 wounds each, so he's not out of the action yet. That is the end of the psychic phase. We now move into the shooting phase, coming right up. Shooting phase is about to commence then, so we start with our readied up models first. I've got 3 readied, you've got 1, so I am going to start with one of my guys that can see your readied Soul Reaper cannon. So my sergeant down there is going to fire his bolt rifle into your dude. It is over half range. I will double check half range. Where is he? He's in there. So actually he's within half range. So we're going to get 2 shots for rapid fire, but no -1 for half range, but -1 because we are well and truly obscured all the way across the board here. So I'm going to be wanting 4s to hit you. I have no hits. There we go, that's the start. Your Soul Reaper cannon, I believe, is going to shoot back at him. I think he's the only one he can shoot at. So you're going to be firing 4 shots. 4 shots, so 4 dice. But your range is less than mine, so you are over half range and obscured. So you're going to want 5s to hit me. So you're -2 to hit. Normally hitting on 3s, -1 because you're over 12 inches, and -1 because we're all obscured.
Well, my range says 24 inches, right?
Yeah, but you're -1, so half range means as soon as you go over 12 inches, you're -1 to hit for the range. So you want 5s to hit. You have 1 hit. You're strength 5, I'm toughness 4, which means you need 3s to wound me. So roll 1 dice and you're looking for a 3 up. Which you have. It's a -3 gun. Which means I've got a save of 6. Which I fail, so I take a wound on my leader. So you're causing all the damage here, thanks a lot. And I didn't cause any damage to you, but you've got no more readied models, and I have. So we're going to move straight on to my remaining readied models. He is over half range, but has stood still, so he's still going to fire twice, but he's -1 to hit because of the range, -1 to hit for your obscured, so he's hitting on 5s. I have, look at that, the first OABG symbol dice has turned up, that is 1 hit. I am strength 4, your toughness 4 means I need 4s to wound. It is not a wound. And then we move on to my other guy. He's going to be shooting into a Zangor that is buried down here. Now the lighting is a bit... We're having to improvise our table here because my normal battlefield is now my office. So we're going to be able to shoot into this guy here. He is within half range, so I'm not -1 to hit, but I am -1 to hit because of obscured. So 4 to hit. These dice, who's winning these dice? Because I don't want them, I might send them back. So nothing on the readied up models. We now move into non-readied models, and we'll be right back. So non-readied models next then. I've got my heavy guy with the auxiliary grenade launcher down here. He's going to be shooting at your leader who blasted him in the face with some psychic energy. Mind bullets. Then I have my guy on the objective over here as well. Both can see valuable enemy targets. Now your icon of flame guy has also got some very sneaky, if I get right in close here and try and focus there. So this is the icon of flame guy, and just in the background over there behind the pillar, just about, can we get to it? Just behind there, you can't really see it. It's not focusing. Oh, you're gonna wave the pen, there he is. So I'm gonna be shooting you from that guy first. Then you're gonna shoot back if you're alive. So, I am not over half range, and nor are you. We're both exactly 12 inches apart. So, that means I'm wanting 4s to hit you. I have hit you the once. 4s to wound, and I have not wounded once again. Over to you to shoot me back. You want the same figures, 4s to hit, and you have not done so. Which means I'm going to move on to my heavy gunner guy with the auxiliary grenade launcher. He's firing with his grenade launcher a crack grenade into the face of your sorcerer. I am not over half range, so I am hitting on, but I'm obscured, so I'm hitting on 4s. We have hit. He's strength 6 with his grenade, which means he needs 3s to wound. I have wounded. So, the first bit of damage I've done to you, you normally have a 3 up save, so more than a 3, but the grenade is -1 to that, so you want a 4+ save. So 4 or more on the dice. No. This could be interesting. It's D3 damage. In fact, he's only got 1 wound, so he's actually going to get knocked over with 3 damage though. So, multiple damage. This is where we see if he gets knocked down or whether he takes a flesh wound. So I'm rolling 3 dice here. 4 or more, he gets taken out of action. Anything else is a flesh wound. Your leader is knocked down. He's out of the battle. How do you feel about that?
Rubbish.
With the aspiring sorcerer taken out of action with a crack grenade to his face, we are at the end of turn 1, and the scores on the doors. I have 2 objectives that are closest to my deployment zone, putting me on 2 points, and Mrs OABG has 1 point over there for that one. So we now go into battle round 2 and we roll for initiative again. I have a 9. You have a 6. It is my initiative as we go into turn 2. So movement phase for turn 2 has been complete. My intercessor here has moved forward. He hasn't advanced or anything, but all readied up because he's moved. So he's just moved there. The guy on the objective is readied up. The guy behind the barrel has remained readied up. My sergeant has moved over to here to provide sort of covering fire across the middle of the board. The heavy weapon guy has moved over to that objective behind the statue. And finally, my last guy has advanced. He had a big advance here. He's moved from down underneath here. He had a 6-inch to his advance. He is now all the way over here gunning for that objective, but he is aware that there is a Zangor there patrolling. On the Thousand Sun side, Mrs OABG has been very, very clever here. She's moved her Brayhorn forwards as the first model to move, putting this Zangor and the one in the middle here, both within 6 inches of the horn, giving her +1 on the charge. And then we've had a little bit of movement from the guy with the icon of flame. The Soul Reaper has readied up, and then your guy at the back has kind of just moved around a little bit, ready to. Did he advance or anything?
He is going to advance.
He is going to advance.
Yeah.
So if you just roll 6 inches on the dice, and then we just get his distance covered. So yep, his advance roll then is a 2, so you can just move him another 2 inches.
Move him there for now.
So you've just moved him a little bit over to there, which is cool. So we now need to roll the charge distances for your guys, right? So you've declared a charge from this guy onto my guy that's underneath here, who advanced his full distance, which means he cannot react. So it means he can't shoot you as you charge in. And this guy
Just here.
just in there is charging my intercessor that I've moved fairly openly, to be honest. So which one do you want to go with first? Bear in mind they're both Brayhorned up, so they've got +1 to their charge.
Probably guess this guy here.
That guy in the corner.
Yeah.
So roll 2d6 and add 1 to the result. He is plenty. That's a 10-inch charge. That is easily into combat. I cannot react. I cannot overwatch you, which we'll cover in a second, because overwatch will happen on the other guy. So just move your Zangor into combat, into base-to-base contact with the guy over there. And your other guy, he's going to be charging as well. So let's see what we're going to get on the charge. That is 5 + 1, 6 inches. Is that enough to get him into combat? Can you measure over the top? It might be easier. Charge has been successful. That 6 inches was just enough to get him into combat. So he is in combat. We do have an overwatch to do there. And then round this corner here, we've got my intercessor has been engaged by the Zangor over here. So my bolt gun does get to overwatch into that Zangor that charged in the middle. We're needing 6s to hit you. I have hit you once. Needs 4s to wound. That's not in the pot, but we'll count that anyway. That is a 3. That is a fail to wound. So the charges are successful. So we now move into the psychic phase. So for the psychic phase then, we have lost the leader, but we do have the icon of flame. So the icon of flame is being carried by this Rubric Marine in here, and his nearest target is now the Space Marine that is in combat just here, 9 inches away. Everyone else was a little bit further. So on a 6+, he takes a mortal wound. That is a 2. That is no good. So we come back into the shooting phase. So in the shooting phase, we start with the first readied up model for the initiative player, which is me. So I'm going to kick off with my guy up here behind the barrel, shooting into your Soul Reaper cannon guy, who is also readied up. So I've got 2 shots. I am over half range and you are obscured. I need 5s to hit you. I have hit once. I need 4s to wound you. I have wounded once. You have
a 3+ save, but you're -1 because of my bolt rifle, so a 4+ to save him on 1 dice, which you have failed. So on a 4+ or more, he is out of the game. He is not out of the game, he just has a flesh wound, so he's still good to go. So your guy with transhuman physiology, which means he has no modifiers on his first flesh wound, your guy gets to fire 4 shots back at me, and you have a choice of either my leader or the guy that is up here. These are the two that we've determined.
I'm going to go for the leader.
You want to go for the leader?
Yeah.
So 4 shots, and you will be hitting on. Is he more than 12 inches away or not? That's the question.
I would say no.
I would say no as well, in which case he is obscured, so you will need 4s to hit with your 4 shots. You have hit only the once. These dice are so bad from both of us. You are strength 5 and I am toughness 4, which means you need 3s to wound. Just 1 dice with the one that hit. You have wounded at -3, so I need a 6+ save.
Oh God!
How good! See, look at that, the OABG beautiful symbols on dice coming into play there. I denied that damage. So we move on to the next readied up model, which is the only one left before we go into regular shooting. Is this guy on the objective? He is going to be shooting into this Zangor that is down here on your objective. So no obscured. No half range to worry about. It's 2 shots, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 4s. It's just the 1 wound. Now your Zangors have a 5+ invulnerable save. That's the only save you need to worry about. So 5 or more, and it ignores the damage. There it is. Look at that. That is a beautiful 5. And you ignore that damage. So we have a little bit more shooting to go. So it is you have got no more readied up models, right?
No,
it's just the 1. So we move on to my leader shooting into your heavy gunner. So this guy over here, there he is, looking all resplendent in his super new shiny armor, shooting into your guy down here, which we have. Very difficult to see because there's lots of terrain, but there is just a path through here to be able to see. Bear in mind, you shot me, I can shoot you. So 2 shots from him. He is not half range for me, so I have hit twice. And I have wounded twice as well. You've got 2 dice to make a 4 or more save. You failed twice. Sorry about that. So he's reduced to 0 wounds. So on he's already taken a flesh wound, which you ignore. So on a 4 or more, he is out of action. Sorry, Mrs OABG. I have knocked out your heavy gunner. There's no swearing on my channel.
So I've lost him.
You've lost your heavy gunner.
Right.
He has been plinked off battlefield.
So I have to take him off.
You do. Add him to your dead pile. Put him with the sorcerer. So we that's all my shooting. You've got as your icon of flame guy. Has he got line of sight to anybody? The guy that you put behind the orange container?
No, don't think so.
In which case we move into the charge phase, and you're the only player that charged. So you get to attack first.
Okay. So I'm gonna go for these 2 guys here.
Okay. When we come back, we'll start rolling some dice. So moving into the combat phase then, we are starting off over here, the combat that is, if we can see, between that Twist Bray and the Rubric Marine. Rubric Marine, the Intercessor. So you have 2 attacks because your guys are armed with bolt pistols and chainswords, and they have a weapon skill of 3+. So you need 2 dice, and a 3 or more you hit me in combat. You have hit me successfully twice. Look at that beautiful OABG symbol coming up on the dice. You are strength 4, so you need 4s to wound me in combat. You have failed to wound though. That is a pity. So we move on to the next combat before I fight you back. So same again with this guy here. You've hit once, 4s to wound, and you've failed to wound. Oh dear, those twist bray have not powered up. They are not ready to go. So we move into my fighting back. If I can find where we are in the pages. So each of my intercessors has 2 attacks to fight you back. So starting in that first combat, I'm hitting on 3s, which I have 1, and wounding on 4s, I have 1 of those. You have a 5+ save to make, which you fail to do so. On a 4 or more, he is out of action. He is not, he's just flesh wounded. And then the combat in the middle as well, which is just down here. 2 more attacks. I have hit you once, and I have wounded you once. Again, a 5+ save required. No. And on a 4+, he's out of action. He is not. They've both got a flesh wound. So the end of the battle rounds, and we've got a few Zangors on flesh wounds. We've got some Space Marines that are down to 1 wound each. But let's take a look at the points. We have an intercessor sat on that objective over here. We've got another one just by the ladders here. And then you've got a little Zangor that I didn't manage to kill sat on your objective over there. So that makes it 4 points to the Adeptus Astartes, 2 points to the rubric 1000 Suns. We're going to go into battle round number 3. So we need to roll for initiative. So grab 2 dice. I've got a 5. You've got more than that. It is Mrs OABG's initiative. When we come back, we'll see what she does.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we are, yeah. The end of the movement phase has been complete. Mrs OABG has the initiative. So, trying to get the camera in to here. This guy here has advanced from over here to get to this objective. So that is that Zangor, that is the Twist Bray himself, is taking some ownership since the Sorcerer has died. Your Brayhorn has moved into the middle of here to give the guy that was on the objective over here, or he will be on the objective, we're going to advance, we're going to charge him in a second, +1 to his charge. It is only a sort of a 4 or 5, but we want to try and ensure that charge goes off down the middle here. Your Icon guy has run over here to take that objective. So he is now over there, and in response, the forces of the Solar Guardians then, so my guy that was behind the barrel has dropped down and tried to claim this objective. His buddy that was on it is declaring a charge into that Zangor, because you're going to charge me, I'm going to charge you. So actually, if you fail, you still move that distance, and I could then counter charge. So this could get a bit close. These guys have remained in combat, and my sergeant has moved on to the centre objective. This is worth 2 points down here. So well worth sending him in. Meanwhile, my heavy gunner is just sat over here. He's readied up, even though he's got no targets, but just in case, you know, why not? Because he hasn't done anything else. So we've got some charges to roll for. Mrs OABG, where are you going to start with your charger? Which one would you like to go for first?
Well, I've only got 1 charge.
You've only got the 1, which is going to be this one down here,
this one
right?
Here, yeah.
So 2d6 charge. Let's get these dice out of the way. That is 6 + 1 for the Brayhorn, 7 inches. So you want to measure and see how far you get. If you don't get into combat, you can still move up to 7 inches towards your target if you want to.
No, I'm 7 inches.
But you are 7 inches, that is plenty. So he is into combat.
Oh, no, sorry. It's not that one, it's this one.
It's that one there, you're charging into the one that's already in combat. So my next charger then, he is going to charge your guy that's just charged my guy. So I have a 6-inch charge, which is going to be enough for this guy in here to charge into here. That was all the charges, wasn't it? I don't think we had anything else.
No.
Cool. So we move into the psychic phase, which means your icon guy, which is now run over here, on a 6 will inflict a mortal wound on the nearest. So with the gimbal out of power, we are now freehanding. So the nearest guy is this intercessor who is in combat. So on a 6+, he will take a mortal wound. Oh, that's close. It's a 5. He fails to take a mortal wound. So that is the psychic phase over. We now move into the shooting phase. And who do we have readied up first from your forces, Mrs OABG?
None readied up.
None readied up. So my first readied up then is that guy over there who is doing, I don't think he can see anybody. So we move into regular shooting. So you've got guys with pistols that aren't in combat. I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look. He's a combat guy. He's a combat guy. So you have no shooting because you're all in combat, and this guy here advanced, so he cannot. He advanced, so he cannot shoot. So we move into my shooting phase, which I've got this guy down here. Can't really shoot. There's a lot of combat in the way, which leaves my sergeant over here in the middle. And just trying to take a look at line of sight, it's all very, very close. I do have an obscured shot into this twist bray. So just looking down here, can we see? I can just about see you. So
I don't think you can.
do you not think I can?
No.
Okay. If the boss says I cannot see, I cannot see. So shooting phase was pretty moot. It was no shooting. So we move into the combat phase then. So we start with your chargers. So no one charged in this far corner over here because they were already engaged. So the newest charger is this guy here. So the first one you charged here. Who would you like to attack with? You've got a choice of 2 targets. Oh, you've got a choice of the guy that you charged, really. So he's the one you declared a charge against. So you have 2 attacks against that fella there. So 2 dice, hitting on 3s. You've hit twice, that's a good start. Forced wound. You have wounded once. I have a 3+ save against the chainsword. I fail, I take a wound. I have 2 wounds each on my guys. So we just mark that down there. My charger then, so I'm going to attack back with this fella who charged. So I have 2 attacks. I've hit twice. I've wounded once. So you have a 5 or more save, which you fail on a 4 or more. He is out of action. He is not. He takes a flesh wound as well. So we want to mark this guy up, your charger up, with a flesh wound token. That'll do. And then we move into all the non-chargers. So you've got the guy down here again, or your guy over there.
Just down here.
So you're going to stay with that one?
Yeah.
Cool, 2 attacks again. You've hit once. 1 dice.
Well, I'll take that one out.
You'll take that one, will you? Of course you will. That's how this rolls. You have successfully wounded on a 3 or more to save. I have saved the damage from that. There's no AP modifiers on a chainsword. So my attack's back. I'm going to hit him back as well. Same guy. I've hit the once, and I have failed to wound. So we now move into the combat that is in here. So you've got 2 more attacks. You've hit twice. It is forced wound. You've wounded twice. Or you're powering up, wife. You're powering up. Threes to save. I failed one, so this guy has taken a wound. Is he the guy that was already wounded? I don't think he was.
That's my wound.
Yep, so that's your wound counter there. So my guy takes a wound down here. Let's mark that. So yours are flesh wounds. They're different physical wounds. So you're chewing through some of the armour plates here. I believe that is all the combat that I get to fight back over there as well, don't I? I get to fight back. So yeah, I've hit twice. I've wounded the once. You have a 5+ save to make, which you fail. So on a 4 or more, he is not. He is he already on a flesh wound, or is that a different guy? I think that guy is already flesh wounded. And that is the end of the round. How are we doing on points? I believe I've got a big lead now. I've just taken the central objective for 2 points. I'm holding 2 that are nearest my deployment zone. You've scored 2 points this time for holding that objective over there and this one. So that puts you on 6, but I gain 4 points this time. So that puts me on 8.
Rubbish.
Because I scored 2 in each of the first 2, which is 4, and then 4 this time it's 8. Yeah, the Adepts are started. Although they're taking a lot of damage here, so we could see this could swing in the next round. So let's have a look at the initiative for battle round 4. I've got a 7, the average of the dice. You've got more than that. You've got an 8. It's Mrs OABG's initiative, so we're going to come back after the movement phase. Movement is now complete, and Mrs OABG has charged in with her Brayhorn in the middle of the field here, straight into the face of my Intercessor Sergeant. Combat over here is going to continue to on-go, and Zangor is sitting on that objective. And then finally over here, this guy has readied up. He's not charging because he doesn't want to leave his objective, but hopefully we can get a mortal wound onto the Intercessor in the combat just around here. My phase then, I've sat on my objective once again in that corner. I've moved this guy around to try and get a line of sight onto the Zangor that is over there. But other than that, that is movement phase complete. We move into the psychic phase. Will the Icon of Flame kill that Intercessor? On a 6+, he will die. Oh, that flashed up there, but it's only a 5. It was nearly a 6. Psychic phase over. We move into the shooting phase. Your guy is readied up. It's your initiative. Can this guy down here see anybody through any windows?
Well, I just want to take this guy out here.
But he's in combat, so you can't shoot him.
Well, you didn't tell me that. That's why I didn't move him.
So you've got an option then, right? So we can go back, and you have to move your Zangor out of combat to do that, which means he cannot charge or shoot or anything else.
No, but I would have moved the one with the gun if you told me that.
So what are you trying to do? Explain it to me what you want to do.
Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what my tactics are.
Well, I'm trying to help you learn the game. I can't do that if you're not going to talk to me.
Well, I'd like to move him smidgenly.
So what you could do
No.
is
I tell you what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to put him, and we're going to pretend that I was told what I was doing properly, and he's going to go here, and that means then I can see this guy here. How long is my range? He's
24.
24, so he's in my line of sight.
Yep.
He's within 24.
Okay.
So I'm going to shoot him.
Cool, because we've got no other. And you are going to be wanting obscured force to hit.
Oh, God's sake.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to shoot him back with my guy with my heavy gun. I'm just going to go with the rapid fire bolt gun here. I've hit once. Oh, that's out of the thing. Look at that. That's very excited. I failed to wound, so that is him shot over here. And I've got one other shooting. I don't think you've got any other shooting, have you? No pistols or anything?
I don't know. You're telling me. I thought I did.
No, your pistol guy, or your pistol and chainswords are in combat here. And in combat over there. He's the combat guy, that one. Right. So that means I've got my Intercessor down here, shooting that way. So we have 2 shots. We've hit once, and we failed to wound. So the shooting phase, exciting as ever in the cramped conditions of the kill team board, is null and void. We now move into the combat phase, and we start with the first one that charged, which was your guy onto my sergeant, the Brayhorn into the sergeant. Now he has a bit more choppy weapon, so he's still got 2 attacks. So it's still the same dice, but you're -1 on my save for him. So you still want 3s to hit. That's 1 hit. You still want 4s to wound. And you're rolling all the 1s. Have I got to bleep another word out on this video now? He is hit. Oh, he's powered up. He's hit 3 times. He's wounded twice. It's 5+ to save on 2 dice. And you look now you roll the dice.
When it counts.
I'm not going to show the smug face you just showed me on camera there, because that was ultimate smug face. Smug face just came up there. So we now move on to your choice of combat next.
I'm going to go for this group down here.
Yep.
So one of those guys first.
So okay, cool. On to the guy I assume that's got 1 wound. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 2 dice. You've hit twice. Powering up the dice here. 4s to wound again. Just the 1 in there. It's a 3+, or I could be out of action. I could be out of action on a 4 or more. He is going to be out for the count. No, he takes a flesh wound. My combat, I get to fight you back. I've hit once. And I've wounded once. It's a 5 or more to save his life. Nope. On a 4 or more, he is out of action. It's a 3. It's not good enough. That's a 2nd flesh wound on him. You're going to move on to your other guy.
Yeah, 2nd guy now.
Oh, here we go. Double OABG symbols coming up on the dice. You want that again, please? That's good enough though. That is 2 wounds on him. It's 3+ to save. I've made both. Oh. So we now move into... Oh, I get to fight back as well first. Let's fight back first. That's not in the thing. That's 1 hit. And it's no wounds. My guys are sucking in combat. We move into the combat that is over here in this building. You've got 2 attacks over there as well. You've hit twice, that's a good start. You need that again, 4s to wound. No! My guy fighting back. He's hit twice. He's rolled a double 6 as well. He's wounded twice. It's 2 5+ to save. You've failed 1. You've passed the other one. It's on a 4 or more. He is out. No, it's a flesh wound. And I believe that is the end of the combat phase. So lots of flesh wounds floating around now. We are not going to be playing with all the morale phase. This is a learner game, so we're not going with any super complex rules. We're just going to fight it out on the points. However, the points are looking very much in favour of the Space Marines. Once again, we have this objective down here for a point. Neither of us have the one in the middle anymore though, because we're both all over it. So 2 points just for me. It's 2 points again. It's a tied round, but the Space Marines of the Solar Guardians remain in the lead as we move into the 5th and final turn. Let's see what the initiative dice look like this round. I've had the first 2 turns, you've had the second 2 turns. Let's go for the 5th and final. I've rolled a 6. You rolled a 6, it's a tie, we re-roll. I've got a 5, I'm getting worse. Mrs OABG takes the initiative in the final turn. We'll come back after the movement phase. So movement phase is complete then. What we've done is some sneaky tricks here. You've fallen out of combat, walked through the gap and landed on my objective. Now that's worth 3 points to you, providing he survives being shot at by my Marine hero. I didn't ready up, but I need to ready him up. So he's readied up, ready to shoot you, but if I fail, you're going to get that objective because you're nearer. You've stayed on that objective down there. You stayed in this combat here. In fact, I'm going to declare a charge, which I didn't do. So that Marine...
It's tough now.
It's not tough. He's charging your guy. I've got a 7, so he will charge into there. Combat remains there. I've moved out of line of sight because you readied up your Marine over there. I've moved out of line of sight here just to make sure you don't shoot him. And all the way around here, I've readied up, but you've fallen back out of combat, and your readied up Icon of Flame dude is now ready to shoot into him with pretty much no modifiers. So that's going to be an interesting one. I could lose my last wound here as you have the initiative. But Psychic Phase first, he could just die to being the Icon of Flame. Is the Icon of Flame going to work this time? On a 6+, that Intercessor just dies. Oh, it's a 5 again. Icon of Flame just isn't coming off for you. We move into the shooting phase though. And which one are you going to start with of your readied modelled first? I assume you're going to start with that guy.
Sorry, can you remind, what's the range on this one here?
24 inches. He's in combat, so you can't shoot him.
He's not in combat. This one is not in combat. Oh.
Oh, over there? No, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So in there, yeah. But these guys are in combat, so you can't shoot there.
I can't shoot the ones when they're in combat?
Correct.
Alright, okay. Well, I'll just have to shoot him then.
Shoot him in the face. You want 3s to hit. 2 dice, yep. It's 1 hit, it's 4 to wound. That's not in the pot. Oh, well, it's a 4. Go on, roll it again, see what happens. I'm going to count it anyway. So you've got a 4. You got the 4. But I've got -2 to save though, so I'm on a 5+ save. Yeah, 5+ save. Yeah. I failed. That's my last wound off of that guy. On a 4 or more, he is dead. Would you like to roll to see if you kill him?
Oh, sorry.
Come on, you're doing the damage here. Come on, it's your moment of glory.
I was just taking him off the board actually.
Oh, thanks for that. He's not off the board though, he's flesh wounded. So where you were getting all preemptive there, put him back. We move into what's your next charges. Is my guy here then charging into your Zangor?
Someone readied up. Do you not need to fight back?
Oh, with oh, this is shooting phase. What we're talking about, we're doing combat. Yes, my guy readied up, shooting your. I'm going to shoot your. Yeah, I'm going to shoot your Rubric Marine. I have hit twice. I have not wounded though. He is still good to go. Have you got any more readied up? I don't think you do you?
No, just ready to shoot.
So he's readied up but has no target. This guy here is readied up, shooting your fallen back Zangor. He's going to take this objective. I've hit once and I've wounded once. You have a 5+ save to make on him, who is standing on my home objective. And you've powered up with that another amazing save. That's going to bring the game a bit closer, isn't it? So that is the end of the shooting phase. We did the psychic phase in mid-game.
I thought this guy has a pistol here.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, I keep forgetting that we're proxying one model down there.
Are you just lying about the rules?
No, it's because you've chosen auto pistols and chainsaws and I have no models with that, sorry. Roll your dice. You've got a pistol, which is 1 shot. You have hit. It's 4s to wound. You have not wounded, unfortunately, with that pistol. Although he did fall back, so actually he can't shoot, but you know. So that is the shooting phase over. We now move into the. We've done the psychic phase. We did it slightly out of sequence because I was getting too excited to see if you killed him. But in fact, psychic phase before shooting phase. We've done it in the right order. What am I doing? This COVID-19 is getting into my brain. We move into the assault phase. Who charged who first? I believe I was the only charger.
Yes, that's right, because I advanced.
Yes, so I've got 1 Marine that charged your Zangor there. So 2 attacks, 1 hit, and 1 wound. It's a 5+ save. No, it's a 4 or more. He's dead. No, it's not. He's flesh wounded. He's already taken 1 flesh wound. He's now on 2.
I can't reach.
I'll do that for you, my dear. And then we move into any other combat that we have ongoing with your initiative. So you want to go on the leader there?
Yes, please.
Cool. 2 attacks. That's 1 hit. You need a 4 or more to wound him. It is not wounded. He will not attack next. I will then go with this guy. No, my sergeant will attack. He's got 3 attacks. Let's do that. He's hit 3 times. He's wounded twice. It's 2 5+ saves to make here. You did it last time. You've done it again. 3 6s, 3 5s and a 6 he's made. He is a beast. Your combat next. I assume we're going to go with this one here. It's the last one to go for you. He's hit twice. He has not wounded though. My attack's back on you. And I've hit twice as well. I have wounded you twice. It's 2 5s. You've made them both as well. The Zangor saves are immense. And that is all of the combat. So at the end of the game, the end of battle round 5, I have only gained 1 point in this round, putting me on, I believe, 11. You were on 6. You have a point over here for 7, a point over here for 8, and over here for 3. That's an 11 all tie.
It's not bad, eh?
That's not bad. See, you know, all that damage, and then you just went hot with those saves. If you'd lost that middle guy, that would have been game over. But no, you powered up, you've beasted it. The game is a tie, and we'll come and have a little chat about it afterwards. So then, Mrs OABG, her first kill team experience, and to be honest, I've not played a gazillion games of kill team either, and I tend to play people that have got a bit more experience than I have. But we did skip a few of the advanced rules. But what did you think of your first experience here?
Well, I think getting a tie on the first game, and really we haven't never really played the game together, so I'll take a tie. I think just about.
Well, needs must, because we've played like one game of Warhammer 40k.
We have
about 6 or 7 years ago.
We have.
So it must have been 6th edition, and you kicked my arse.
But I found the bigger game easier as a learner. I think playing on a smaller board with so much terrain, it's very difficult when you're a learner to know what the models are and how they can move about the board. So I found that particularly difficult. I think with the bigger game, it's slightly easier for a learner because you can see the overall a bit better. I mean, that said, I think my takeaways really were I didn't appreciate that it was a cumulative total for the objectives, and I think my learning point really is that I would have placed my models slightly differently. So I think I probably would have placed my sorcerer more defensively. I would probably have put my Marines with the guns at the back of the board and sat them on the 2 objectives at the back of the board. And I definitely would have played my Zangors more aggressively and moved them much more quickly up to the objectives towards the end or middle of the board. So I think that's probably what I would have done or what I would do next time.
So does that mean there is a next time? We've got potentially 12 weeks of this. And I'm desperate for content for the channel, so are you willing to replay?
Well, I guess that depends how many comments, subscribes and views this video gets. I mean, if there's a significant number, then I might be persuaded to play again. If there's an insufficient number, then the answer's no.
There's great incentive, guys. So if you are interested in seeing Mrs OABG take on me once again in a rematch as we move through the troubled times that we're in, you need to hit that like and subscribe button. And if there is a suitable number, then she will be back, and this time, you know, she might get a win. So thank you very much, the wife. I did appreciate our little Sunday afternoon, couple of hours playing Kill Team whilst the world falls apart. Much appreciated, as we cannot get other games due to social distancing requirements. But thank you very much appreciated.
Well, that means you're chefing dinner tonight then.
If that's what you say, then that's what's going to happen.
That's the deal.
That's the deal. But thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. First time I've used my intercessors from the Solar Guardians in a kill team, as I tend to use my Thousand Suns, but you dibs those. But thank you very much appreciated, and we'll call it there.
So there we go then, guys. Our first game is complete and an 11-all draw. Who'd have thought it? Now, you're not going to be... I hope you weren't expecting tactical genius from either of us. I've only played a few games of this myself. We did slim down on the rules. But realistically, this video is all about getting a little bit of fun because I'm now limited on my opponents, as I'm sure many of you are, unless you've come up with some creative online version. I know a few of my friends are playing D&D over like FaceTime or other applications like that. We're also having a painting session in the evenings. We're using Facebook video messenger, so we basically propped up our phones. Means that we can still chat and talk hobby and all that good stuff while we sit there and do our hobby, because we can't go and see each other. But I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you thought it was good fun. And of course, the message from Mrs OABG is if you want to see her have a rematch at some point over the next few weeks, as we are in full lockdown in the UK, you need to hit that subscribe button, the like button, hit a comment up in the section below, and all that good stuff. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Shall catch you guys on the next video.